Krista from Georgia says, I start out playing with proper hand placement on the bow, but as I play, and especially if I play something fast, my pinky finger wants to fly off like I'm drinking a cup of tea. Any advice? Well, that reminds me, I have a cup of tea and I'm gonna let my pinky fly off. So good. Rooibos. Okay, so I'm a tea nerd, drink a lot of tea. Okay, Krista, so first off, if your pinky's flying off, it's not necessarily wrong. In fact, it just depends what your style is and what you're doing. You may have noticed that old-time fiddlers choke up on the bow and that they often will raise their pinky anyway, and sometimes even the ring finger. So let's just get that out of the way. It's not necessarily wrong. I teach a more classical hold because I want you guys to be able to do anything you want to do, ultimately. You may get to the end of Fiddlehead and realize, I kind of like classical music. I want to learn a little bit of that. Then you don't have to totally relearn. All right, so the basic positioning I hold is somewhat based in classical, and it involves keeping your pinky on the bow. So the thing is, if you just have the bow on the strings, your pinky is not as important as the other strings. Pinky becomes really important when you have to lift. And you'll have to do that in more advanced things, technically advanced things, like classical music or maybe some bluegrass. So then the pinky, it's really important to have that pinky there. Notice also, side note, you want your fingers to be very naturally curled and relaxed. Okay, so we need the pinky, and then just a quick kind of trick for you, Krista, because if you can't help having this happen, play something and then practice lifting, because it's going to be, if you try to lift it with your pinky, you're going to notice quite a strain in your hand up here. I don't know what these muscles are called, but when you have your pinky there, there's much less strain. So one way for you to quickly overcome that habit that you want to break about the pinky lift falling off is just play something, simple tune, whatever, and then lift. Or maybe just do even smaller bits. Lift, make a little circle with your lift. And then that'll force your pinky down, perhaps. I'm not sure that'll happen, but I think it will. I think you'll naturally need to do that. The other main thing I'll offer you is to use a bit of like focused practice on this, using micro practice techniques that I talk about a lot throughout the site. And basically, with micro practice, we focus on a particular challenge, in this case, the pinky thing, and we start with the simplest possible thing, which is just having the bow on the strings, holding it, not even playing. Now, can you keep your pinky from flying off? Probably. Now try to do an open D. If it flies off here, then you have to stay here and work at this point. However, if you're able to do that without it flying off, then try first finger. And if that works out okay and your finger's not flying off, try open to 1. And maybe it flies off there, then you know that you've reached your edge. So with micro practice, we're always trying to like make things a little bit harder and more challenging until you get to your edge, all right? And then you know, okay, that's where I really need to play with my practice and focus to get that thing. And then basically you'll work on it a little bit, and then like I mentioned in the last question, you can let it go and go to something else, and just don't try to focus on that the whole practice session on your pinky or whatever the problem is. Go and play a song, and then go back and be like, okay, I'm going to try to not lift my pinky for the next couple minutes. All right. So again, that practice is called interleaving, and it's something I just learned about. Okay, so I think that explains it. So, and then just so you know, the progression of, if you're working on any technical thing, you would start with an open string, single fingered notes, intervals like open to 1 or 1 to 3, and then simple scales. Maybe that's where you'll hit your edge and that will become hard. Then you do tune phrases like carry polka. If you don't hit your edge there, try the whole A part. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, cool.
Go to fiddlehead.com for a progressive, step-by-step course outline, color-coded tabs, play-along tracks, sheet music, and much more. Thanks for watching the videography. Excellent! And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.